Originally, like, I thought it was a scam, right? Like you see all these flexing the rollie and flexing the biddies and the Lambo, and then it's like, hey, buy my course. That.
I kind of want to go into more so, who did you learn from? How did you become who you are? How do you focus on education, or how do you think about education?
So when I was a freshman in high school, there was a senior. His name was Alan Mamam. I owe a lot to this fucking kid. He is brilliant. And he was the guy that started the fidget spinner trend. Swear to God. If you look up fidget spinner, whatever, there are Forbes articles on him. I think he sold $400,000 in fidget spinners online when he was 18 years old. He was a fucking walking legend in my school. I was a young freshman. The fidget spinner trend started in my school, so he was selling it to dudes in class. And I remember being, the young little shifty, 14-year-old entrepreneur that I was. I was like, fuck Alan Mamam. I could make these myself. Yeah. I could sell these myself, yeah. Right? I'm gonna start my own fidget spinner company. My grandpa lent me $500. Bought a 3D printer. I would print out the frame. I would hammer in the skateboard bearings.
You made them.
I made them, bro, with my fucking hands. And I would sell them to my homies. And me and Alan had beef, right? He's like, fuck this little twerp that ripped my business idea, but he was uber successful. He put it online. He was running on meme pages back in the day when it was nobody would
That's where you learned that,
bro. That 100%. And he hated my guts when I was a freshman. Funny enough, he ended up kind of becoming my. I hate the term mentor, bro. I find that shit so corny and cheesy. It's my billionaire mentor. Fuck that.
And you never ask someone will you mentor me?
Yeah, it's not he's a
friendship, yeah.
Right, it's a friendship. But he took me under his wing. And it's not even he gave me some crazy advice or showed me the ropes. But when I was 14 years old, I saw the light. It wasn't some YouTube guru bullshit, the Ferrari. It was, this kid goes to my high school. He is a fucking beast and baller. He is making a bunch of money selling shit online. It's possible. And then I saw him drop out of college. And I saw him do 800 other things. He was running Bloomberg social media meme campaign. What the fuck? Now he's running a YC-backed a YC-backed teen investing app, Robinhood competitor for teens, that's worth tens of millions of dollars. And he's their head of growth and co-founder, right? Not surprised. But he was the guy that really kind of showed me the light and showed me that it was possible to do this. Because originally I thought it was a scam, right? You see all these fucking flexing the rollie and flexing the biddies and the Lambo. And it's and then it's hey, buy my course. Fuck that.
I want to talk about that though. That's interesting.
So let's talk about that. So Maman was I knew that it was legit. When I was a senior in high school, Maman was head of growth for this app called It's Me. And he brought me on the team to streamline the influencer collaboration process. And he was the guy that was the first person to TikTok. This was when it was weird.
So he's an innovator.
He's a huge
visionary, baby.
Huge. And this was when it was weird to be on TikTok. It was people dancing, and it was weird. Oh, what? You're watching TikToks, you're making TikToks, but it was ripe for disruption. And it was ripe for disruption for two reasons. First, influencers on the platform had never done a brand deal before. There were no brand deals on TikTok because there were no companies that were they're throwing money at them. So you were able to get brand deals for pennies on the dollar. Two, the second reason why it was ripe for disruption was the viewers weren't seeing any ads, right? If you go on Instagram or Facebook, whatever, it's, every 2 posts, it's a fucking ad. With TikTok, there were no ads. There were no collabs. There were no influencer deals. So it was a holy shit, money printing moment. So he was head of growth at this app. He brought me on the team to streamline the process. I assembled a team of virtual assistants. We fucking scaled that shit up. We brought that app to number 4 on the social networking charts. And this was right behind Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp.
Damn.
They are, you're not
going to pass
that's Meta.
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, that's Meta. They're a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate with, tens of thousands of employees. This was an app with a team of 6 engineers and me and Maman spearheading, growth. And we brought it to number 4. It was crazy.
That's really impressive. And it's so
hundreds of millions of views.
Yeah, it's so crazy that this person went to your high school too.
Yeah.
Seeing that it's possible is really the biggest motivator.
And by the way, my web developer also went to my high school. We were in the same grade. We were homies. And he's a fucking killer. He's an animal. Shout out Zach Malter. And he has his own I helped him like kind of scale his agency where he just hired his first employee and now he's working for like 8 other e-com brands, like all my homies in the space, and he's gonna fucking kill it. But yeah, man.
Having people you can trust is really important.
Oh my God.
Because you go through a lot. It's a roller coaster. I know we're talking about the highlights here, but you've had some dark moments too. We won't go into it. They can go watch your channel if they want. What's your channel's name again?
It's my name, Oliver Brocato.
How do you spell your last name?
Brocato.
Okay, I'll link everything.
Word.
Okay, super interesting.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to go into what you touched on. So is there anybody else you've learned from online, by the way? Like anyone that you would notably read a book, anybody you follow?
I would say like it was a lot of trial and error, man. Like, you know, after the fidget spinner trend, like, you know, that exploded, but then it also died just as quick. And I made a little bit of money off the fidget spinners, and I learned like Etsy and eBay, but after it died, I was like, all right, like now what do I do? So then I started knocking on doors, and I ran like a social media management company. But you know, clients were constantly churning because they're like, okay, what revenue are you driving? You're posting on Instagram for me, but like you're not driving any sales. So then I moved into like social media marketing, and then I tried drop shipping, and then
so you're just in it full time.
I was in it, and a lot of unsuccessful ventures.
School of hard knocks.
That's what it was.